2018 pre-season has brought in some of the highest name transfers that we've seen ever in the Thai League, generated a lot of interest in the Thai League 2018, really unprecedented. So Gian, can you just give us your 5 top signings for the Thai League 2018?
Alright, I'd like to start off by saying that this probably is the most exciting transfer window we've seen in a long time. Any one of these top 5 would have been like a number 1 in any other year, and there's just been so much like coming out that any one of these 5 is unprecedented. I'll start with the 5th one, since we are actually in the Air Force Stadium right now. I'll kind of combine 2 into number 5. I'll get Leandro Assumpção and JC John to Air Force Central FC. I think both of them are fantastic players. Leandro scored 11 goals in 13 games last season, and JC, I think he had some injury problems and he had some problems breaking into the first team at Bangkok United simply because of how good Dragan Boskovic was. But he's a very talented player.
I see him doing better in Air Force than he did in Bangkok United, simply because he's going to be the lead front man for the club.
Yeah, I definitely agree. He could definitely help with their playing style. Like, very physical attackers. Leandro's got amazing pace and amazing technical ability, and when you have a finisher like JC John, I think that could be a very devastating front line. And I'd pick that as my number 5 signing because of just the impact that those 2 will have on this club. I think those 2 can be some of the most impactful transfers we've seen at this club for a while. They're back in the Premier League.
Okay, number 4.
I'll go with number 4. I'll put Titipan Puangchan to Bangkok Glass. He was certainly hyped up as a big signing for them. Bangkok Glass have made a number of big signings. Obviously got Mendy from the Korean League as well as the striker. But Titipan did so well at Chiang Rai last season. I'm really shocked that they let him go. I think he becomes the 3rd most expensive Thai player after Tanaboon and Tiraton. I think he becomes number 3. So he's definitely going to be a very big influence on generating the hype and excitement at Bangkok Glass. I think he has enough in him to take on the role of being the main man in Bangkok Glass. I think he could really further their ambitions, and he could help them a lot.
Number 3, biggest signing.
Now, number 3 on any other year would have been number 1, but because of how much is going on, I put it at number 3. I'd put Jaja Coelho to Muangthong United. People haven't really reacted to the signing the way you'd expect to, because Buriram's top goal scorer from last season, who scored a goal every single game, 34 goals, 34 games, perfect goal ratio, is signed for their biggest rivals. And it's a signing Muangthong desperately need. I think I'm really excited for the prospect of seeing Jaja play alongside Heberty up front. That could be a devastating partnership, a fantastic attacking partnership there. I think I'm definitely going to put Jaja in number 2, especially since it's a free transfer, because Buriram just let him go at the end of the season. So that's a very fantastic signing.
And the 2nd biggest signing?
Second one, it's really difficult to decide which one I'm going to go with, put number 2 and number 1. And I decided ultimately I'm going to put Dragan Boskovic in number 2, which is not easy actually to say that, because he generated so much hype. But yeah, 38 goals in 34 games last season makes him probably the most prolific striker the Thai League has ever seen. This is one of the most prolific strikers the Thai League has ever seen. And to go to Port, to go to a club that struggled a bit last season, struggled to find identity for themselves. They changed managers a lot last season. You had Zico coming in and Jade coming back after that. Boskovic will transform their fortunes, and I don't think I've ever seen Port fans and Port in general be so excited for a signing as this one. So I'm going to go with Port and Boskovic in number 2.
And the biggest signing for 2018?
Before I say that, I'll go through some honourable mentions of other signings that would have been on this list on any other year.
Okay.
But there have been no talk about them at all. Like Marcelo Sombek went to BC Tero. No talk about it at all. That's a big signing. I think Nabihi as well to Port is also a big signing, but he's been overshadowed by Boskovic. Vander to Bangkok United, also a big signing. He was put in many people's team of the year last season. Again, hardly talked about. But there can only be one number one. I think it has to be Clayton Silva returning to the Thai League with Chiang Rai United. I think most people thought that when he left Muangthong, that'd be the end of it for Clayton. One season, a very successful season in Shanghai Shenzhen. I believe he finished as the club's top scorer, I believe, and the 5th top scorer overall in the 2nd division in China, which is very impressive considering how many talented players there are just one division above him. He did fantastically well, and he left the club. He sort of discussed the lack of ambition there, and he sort of said he was leaving because the club did not show him enough ambition. So for him to go to Chiang Rai believing that they have more ambition than that club in Shanghai probably says a lot. I think he could be very successful. People forget he is the all-time Thai League top goal scorer. He's scored more goals in the Thai League than anybody else during the last 10 years when it's been a professional league. Nobody has scored as many goals as Clayton Silva.
And so Clayton Silva, your pick for the biggest signing, returning to the Thai League, and he's almost somewhat of a homegrown Thai player as well,
Yeah.
because he was with the Sotsapa back in the day with BC Tero, with Muangthong, and now coming back to Chiang Rai United. So he's kind of come of age in Thailand and definitely got something more to give.